Hello, YouTube. I just wanted to do a small review on this beautiful book right here called Buck by M.K. Asante. It's a memoir. This book was really good. I really enjoyed it. I really liked how he inserted all the hip hop passages throughout the book. And this is something that I guess Generation X always has on the brain. I know I do it, and I'm 49. I'm like probably at the beginning of Generation X. No. Anyway, I know I'm in the same generation of my kids and they love the same type of music that I do, the same type of hip hop, the same type of rock and roll, the same type of jazz, the same type of every alternative type of thing. Um, but let me tell you about Buck. I really enjoyed it. I just finished it and I really enjoyed how that last poem in the book, sorry if it's a spoiler, but you're supposed to be talking about books, not just buying them, right? Or checking them out in the library and doing hauls. So I just really want to share, and I really don't mean to spoil anything, but obviously he's a writer, he's a rapper, he's a filmmaker. He wrote with Maya Angelou. He's done a lot and is still doing. He's a professor of English. He's an amazing young man. And I'll just show the picture on the back. This is him and his beautiful self. You can catch him on YouTube if you don't know anything about Mr. M.K. Asante. He has a beautiful full name that's listed on his website. If you just Google him under M.K. Asante and the book Buck, right? And my favorite parts in this book, of course, I love the way the opening line was. The opening line was so dope. The opening paragraph, that is, was so dope. I read it on my phone months ago, seriously, with a group that's on Goodreads, and I put it down. I'm like, if this book is going to be as good as this first lines, then I'm going to have a great time. But I put it down. I don't know how many people out there do this in book world and reading and lovers of books out there. But sometimes you get a book and it's just, you read the first few lines, you go, oh, this is going to be good. This book better read or, stand up to the first part that I just read. And it did. It really did. And I'm so happy that I read it. And I would give it a 3 stars because I really totally enjoyed it. But I would probably try to give it a 3.5, maybe a 4 star, just because of the fact that he has his mother's words in here from her diary. I now that's at first I'm like, okay, it's very hip hoppy, it's very coming of age in this, type of, area where young men are just learning how to survive and so forth and so on. And so you kind of hear this story and, because of my age, I've heard it a lot and I've lived it and I understand this. I have sons, and so it wasn't anything new at first, but I really like the way he's telling the story, and it's very fresh and it's very raw and it's very real and it's very believable. um so I really like that. But when the really good part came to me, when the literary part, when this book just stepped up its game, is when I'm sorry for the spoilers, you can turn off the video now, but when he opens up his mother's diary, it becomes a part of this book. So he'll go back and forth and read her diary, and then he goes back to telling his story and reading his mother's diary and going back. Man, she's an amazing writer, and she's just writing journal entries for her diary. She's writing the diary to herself, her name before she changed her name, and then signs off of it with the new name that she's adopted. So, but her writing style and just these journal entries are beautiful. They're sad, they're depressing because she is suffering from depression. But that became the highlight of the book for me when it first started, when it came out, when he opened that diary and was contemplating reading his mother's diary. And then it goes on and on throughout most of the book, and then it stops because she catches him reading the diary and that betrayal, and then so forth and so on, and then her diary stops, and then his writing, it keeps going because it keeps going throughout the story anyway. His writing never stops. But I just think that was an amazing thing to do. So because of that, and then literally I read the poem at the end, this whole Jill Scott Roots moment in this open mic club type of thing, which of course, I'm very accustomed to because I used to live at those places. Literally, I would just, I couldn't wait to get off of work and when I was in Florida and just go see these amazing poets. And Life was one of my favorites. And then I come here to Fort Worth, Texas, and oh my God, we saw ah none other than Natasha Carrizosa on stage, and then none other than my son, William Jersey Daughtry, light up that freaking stage and set it on fire. So when I read Mr. Asante's poem, when he's on the open mic stage, I read it out loud and literally had tears in my eyes because that's the world that I'm accustomed to. I listen to, love reading, hearing, and living poetry. This is an amazing memoir. I really think that you should read it. Enjoy it. Goodbye, you guys. Enjoy your Saturday. That's all I'm going to say. But that's my review and wrap up. 4 stars for Mr. M.K. Asante. Thanks, sir. Bye, you guys. Bye, Tasha.